All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to become design detectives. We're going to decode the secret stories hidden in the furniture all around us. So let's get started.
I mean, really think about it for a second. One is all clean lines and simplicity, right? The other has these crazy carved legs and maybe some plush fabric. They both do the same thing, but they speak completely different languages. And believe me, there's a very good reason for that.
That's exactly right. Every single curve, every line, every piece of decoration tells a story about the era it came from, what people valued, the technology they had, their whole idea of beauty. So today, let's fire up that time machine.
Okay, so our journey kicks off in what we're calling the Age of Elegance. This was a time when furniture was really evolving from being just functional into actual objects of style and comfort. First step on our tour, the Queen Anne style. Now, before this period, a lot of furniture was, let's just say, pretty rigid and formal. Queen Anne completely changed the game. It's like designers suddenly asked, hey, what if a chair could look beautiful and be nice to sit in? I know, it sounds obvious now, but back then that was a totally revolutionary thought. And you can totally see that idea of comfort in the design itself. The signature feature, the thing to look for, is that curved S-shaped leg. They call it a cabriolet leg. Everything about this style is just gentle and flowing. It's a huge departure from the harsh, straight lines that came before it. And that's really the crucial point. This wasn't just a new look, it was a whole new philosophy. For pretty much the first time, the comfort of the person using the furniture was a key part of the design itself, a real game changer. So what happens next? Well, after Queen Anne, we get the Georgian style, which brought a sense of order and formality back into the room. So if Queen Anne was all about that graceful elegance, Georgian was about dignified, solid structure. You can spot Georgian design pretty easily because it absolutely loves balance. Look for symmetry. What you see on the left, you'll see on the right. It uses a lot of strong, straight lines and solid wood, which gives it this very sturdy, very dependable feel. And this focus on structure, it totally reflects the mindset of the era. Society at the time valued order and propriety, and their furniture was a perfect mirror of those values. It was designed to look solid, neat, and above all, respectable. All right, let's jump forward now to the 19th century. The Industrial Revolution is booming, a new middle class is on the rise, and boy, do they want to show off their new wealth. Welcome to the Victorian era, where more is definitely more.
The Victorian style is pretty much the complete opposite of minimalism. I mean, think big, think bold, think decorative. This was furniture designed to make a statement, to seriously impress your guests.
The classic signs are dark, heavy woods like mahogany, just absolutely covered in these incredibly detailed carvings, flowers, leaves, swirling patterns. These pieces weren't just furniture, they were basically sculptures that took up a ton of space, both physically and visually. And that really gets to the why of it all. In an age of new money, owning furniture that was obviously expensive and took a master craftsman months to create, that was the ultimate status symbol. Your sofa told everyone that you had arrived. So after the sheer excess of the Victorian era, you can probably guess that a massive change was brewing. As we headed into the 20th century, designers started to ask a really radical new question. What if furniture was just useful? And this sets up a kind of design showdown. In one corner, you've got Victorian, with all its fancy ornamentation and complexity, all designed to show off status. And in the other corner, you have this new modern way of thinking, which stripped everything away to focus purely on function. But before we get to pure function, let's talk about Art Deco. This style totally embraced the new machine age, but it did it with so much flair. It was modern, sleek, and oh so glamorous. This was the style of the Jazz Age. Art Deco is all about bold, geometric confidence. You gotta look for the zigzags, the sunbursts, the strong repeating patterns. It also loved new materials and finishes, so you get these smooth, shiny surfaces that just felt luxurious and futuristic. And what's crucial about Art Deco is that it saw no difference between a painting on a wall and a well-designed cabinet. It brought this amazing artistic expression into everyday objects, which made modern life feel really stylish and exciting. And then came Bauhaus. Now look, this wasn't just another style. It was a German art school and a completely radical new way of thinking. The Bauhaus philosophy basically turned the entire history of design completely on its head. The features here are stripped down to their absolute essence.
There are no carved details, no fancy patterns. It's just the pure form an object needs to do its job. It was all about being honest with the materials, too, things like simple tubes of steel and basic geometric shapes. And this is its most powerful legacy. Form follows function. The beauty of a Bauhaus piece comes from how perfectly it achieves its purpose, not from any decoration that was added on top. And that one idea fundamentally shaped almost all the modern design we see today. So, we've just traveled through centuries of design. We've seen elegance, order, total excess, and pure simplicity. So how can you use this knowledge? Well, let's turn you into a design detective.
Here is your toolkit, and it's really this simple. First, just look at the overall shape. Is it curvy and flowing, or is it straight and geometric? Second, zoom in on the details, or the lack of them. Is it covered in carvings, or is it plain and simple? And finally, the most important question. Ask yourself why it looks that way. The answer to why will tell you everything you need to know.
So go ahead, take a look around you. That chair, that table, that bookshelf, they're not just inanimate objects anymore. They are pieces of history, and each one has a story to tell. And now, you finally know the language. So, what are they telling you?